Have you ever tried to study, but the sound of someone chewing nearby felt like an alarm bell just screaming inside your head? Well, today, we're diving into a condition that makes that an everyday reality for a surprising number of students right in the heart of campus.
Think about all those little sounds of life. A clock ticking, somebody typing on their keyboard, the quiet crunch of a snack. For most of us, they're just background noise. Maybe a little annoying, sure, but we just tune it out.
But what if you couldn't? What if that little bit of annoyance wasn't just annoyance at all? What if it was this overwhelming involuntary reaction that you had absolutely no control over? A feeling so powerful, it just completely hijacks your brain.
Well, that intense reaction actually has a name. It's called misophonia. So what exactly is it?
Okay, so the name itself literally means hatred of sound, and it's defined as an abnormally strong emotional or even physiological reaction to very specific sounds. And I really want to stress, we are not talking about a simple dislike here. This is a deep, powerful, gut-level response.
So what's actually going on? Is it, just an overreaction? Are people being too sensitive? Well, the science says a definitive no. This isn't just something that's all in your head, it's neurological. The brain's wiring is genuinely different in people who experience this.
When a person with misophonia hears one of their trigger sounds, they don't just get irritated. They can be completely flooded with these incredibly intense emotions. We're talking about a sudden, white-hot flash of anger, or this overwhelming sense of disgust, or even a full-blown wave of panic and anxiety. And this isn't just an emotional storm, it's a physical one too. The body's autonomic nervous system kicks into absolute high gear. It triggers a full fight or flight response. That means a racing heart, muscles tensing up. It's a real, measurable, physical event happening in the body. And incredibly, we can actually see this happening in the brain. Scans show that when someone hears a trigger sound, there's this hyperactivation in a spot called the anterior insular cortex. Now, this area is a critical hub that connects our emotions with our physical body awareness. It's the proof that this is a very real, verifiable neurological response.
So let's think about this. What happens when you take this neurological condition and you drop it right into the middle of a university classroom? Well, it can become a massive, massive obstacle to learning.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, it sounds serious, but really, how much can the sound of chewing gum or someone sniffling really derail an entire education?
The answer, profoundly. I mean, the research is really blunt about this. The distress can become so completely unbearable that students have actually been forced to drop out of school entirely. It's that severe. And here's why. As soon as a trigger sound happens, it's like the brain's alarm system has been tripped. And once that alarm is blaring, the ability to concentrate on a complicated lecture or a dense textbook or a really high-stakes exam, it's just gone. Trying to refocus becomes almost impossible. And this brings us to what might be the most crucial problem of all, this massive awareness gap between what students are experiencing and what faculty understands.
Get this. One study found that roughly 20%, that's 1 in every 5 undergraduate students, reported having clinical signs of misophonia. That is a huge number of people sitting in lecture halls and libraries just struggling through this. Now hold that 20% in your head and compare it to this number. Only 2.3% of faculty said they'd ever been asked by a student for any kind of accommodation for this. The difference is just staggering. And that is the disconnect. On one side, you have this huge number of students in genuine distress, and on the other, the instructors are almost completely unaware that the problem even exists. It basically means all these students are suffering in silence. So if the problem is that this struggle is invisible, then what's the solution? Well, the research points to a really clear and powerful first step. And the solution is surprisingly simple: information. The study found that when faculty were just told what misophonia is, their willingness to provide accommodations shot way, way up. The barrier isn't that they don't care, it's that they just don't know. So the single most important takeaway from the research is this: simply spreading information is the most powerful tool we have. When you educate faculty, you empower them to help. And when you educate students, you empower them to finally ask for it.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If simple awareness can make such a profound difference for this one issue, what other invisible challenges are all around us every day? And just what could we achieve if we all just took a moment to try and see them?